Imagine this. You lose your job, your relationship falls apart, people doubt you, your plans fail. Most people panic, but some people stay calm, focused, almost impossible to break. Not because life is easier for them, but because they think differently. More than 2000 years ago, a philosophy was created that taught ordinary people how to survive chaos, pressure, heartbreak, and uncertainty. That philosophy is called Stoicism. And today, in a world full of stress, distractions, and emotional overload, Stoicism might be more relevant than ever. In this video, you'll learn what Stoicism actually is, why powerful people still follow it today, and the simple mindset shift that can make you mentally stronger than 99% of people. Let's begin. What is Stoicism? When people hear the word Stoic, they often think it means being emotionless. But that's not true. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about controlling how you respond to them. The philosophy began in ancient Greece around 300 BC and was later developed by famous thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. And what's fascinating is this. These weren't people hiding in caves meditating all day. One was a slave, one was a wealthy businessman, one ruled the most powerful empire on earth. Yet all of them came to the same conclusion. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control yourself. That single idea became the foundation of Stoicism. And honestly, think about how powerful that is. You can't control the economy, other people, social media opinions, traffic, rejection, bad luck. But you can control your attitude, your actions, your discipline, your mindset. And according to Stoics, that's where true freedom begins. The Dichotomy of Control, 2:10-4. There's one Stoic principle that can instantly reduce stress in your life. It's called the Dichotomy of Control. In simple terms, some things are in your control, some things are not. That's it. Sounds basic, but most people suffer because they obsess over things they can't control. Think about it. Someone ignores your text, you overthink. Someone criticizes you online, you get angry. Something doesn't go according to plan, you spiral emotionally. The Stoics would say, why are you giving your peace of mind to things outside your control? Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That idea alone can completely change your life. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you don't need everyone's approval. You don't need perfect conditions to move forward. And you don't need life to be fair to be strong. That's Stoic thinking. And ironically, when you stop trying to control everything, you become far more powerful. Why Stoicism is exploding today? So why are millions of people suddenly interested in Stoicism again? Because modern life is mentally exhausting. We live in a world where attention spans are collapsing, anxiety is rising, social media constantly compares us to others, and people are emotionally reactive 24/7. Stoicism feels like an antidote. Athletes, entrepreneurs, military leaders and creators are turning to Stoic principles because they help people stay calm under pressure. And here's the crazy part. The problems humans faced 2000 years ago aren't that different from today. People still struggle with fear, anger, jealousy, failure, loss, uncertainty. Technology changed. Human nature didn't. That's why Stoicism still works. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote personal notes to himself while leading an empire during wars, political chaos, and disease outbreaks. Those writings later became the famous book Meditations. And even today, people read it because the lessons feel timeless. One of his most famous ideas was, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Imagine truly believing that. How much anxiety would disappear from your life? Stoic practices you can use today. Now let's talk about practical Stoicism, because this philosophy isn't just theory. It's meant to be lived. 1. Negative visualization. This sounds dark, but it's incredibly powerful. Stoics would sometimes imagine losing the things they loved, not to become depressed, but to become grateful. Imagine losing your phone, your health, your closest friend, your opportunities. Suddenly, the things you take for granted feel valuable again. Gratitude becomes stronger when you realize nothing is guaranteed. 2. Voluntary discomfort. Stoics believed comfort can make people weak, so sometimes they intentionally made life harder. Cold showers, simple food, sleeping on the floor. Not because suffering is cool, but because they wanted to prove something to themselves. I can handle discomfort. And honestly, modern life makes us avoid discomfort constantly. But growth usually lives on the other side of discomfort. 3. Journaling. This is one of the most powerful Stoic habits. Every night, ask yourself, what did I do well today? What mistakes did I make? What can I improve tomorrow? That's exactly what Marcus Aurelius did. His journal wasn't meant for fame. It was self-discipline in written form. And maybe that's something we all need more of today. Not more noise, more self-reflection. The hardest Stoic lesson. Here's the hardest Stoic lesson of all. Life will not always go your way. People will disappoint you. You will fail sometimes. You will lose things you care about. Stoicism doesn't promise a perfect life. It teaches you how to remain strong during an imperfect one. That's why Stoicism feels so different from motivational content online. It's not about pretending life is easy. It's about becoming resilient enough to face reality without breaking. And maybe real strength isn't loud. Maybe real strength is staying calm in chaos, staying disciplined when nobody watches, and continuing forward even when life gets difficult. That's Stoicism. So the next time life feels unfair, stressful, or overwhelming, remember this. You cannot control everything that happens, but you can control who you become because of it. And that mindset alone can change your entire life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. What's one thing you're learning to stop controlling? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.